Welcome to part 49 of the Gods and Goddesses of Ancient Egypt. Let's look at a sky god worshipped by the peoples of the Western Desert and then later adapted into ancient Egyptian mythology. This is Ash. He was identified by the ancient Egyptians as the god of the vineyards or of the Western Nile Delta, and was also seen as a god of the oases. He is associated with the god Set, who was originally a god of the desert. Now, the first reference to this god actually dates back to the pre-dynastic period, and he continues to be talked about up until the 26th dynasty. Flinders Petrie, in his 1923 expedition in Saqqara, found several references to Ash in the Old Kingdom, specifically on wine jar seals, which are labeled with the words, "I am refreshed by this Ash." Now, Ash can be depicted quite a few different ways, but I was having a really tough time finding any sort of depiction minus this kind of drawn one that is not really based necessarily on any actual specific depiction. Usually, he is depicted as a human with one of the many different heads of desert creatures. So he can be shown with a lion head, a vulture head, a hawk head, a snake head, or like in this case, the unidentified Set animal. Some depictions of Ash actually show him having multiple heads, unlike other ancient Egyptian deities. I really wish I could find more references to this because it says that there's lots of images, but they are obviously not that widely sought out. I'd probably have to go some deep dives into some older books. I will also mention that the idea of Ash being a foreign god that was imported into Egypt has been contested by some scholars recently. It is theorized that he may have been the god of the city of Neput, which is now known as Nakata. If you hear me talking about Nakata, it was a very, very important city and one of the oldest in ancient Egypt. And it was theorized that he was maybe the primary god of that city before Set was actually introduced. And they actually holds this title of Nebuti, or he of Nebut, which might indicate this position. In the next part, let's look at an ancient Egyptian ram deity whose cult was centered in Heracleopolis Magna.